History students at LCSC. I am Professor Eric Martin. I'm messing with the camera there. And it's time to set up chapter one from Worlds of History. So, what I want to do is kind of go through for 5 or 6 minutes here some of the things for you to be on the lookout for while you're doing the readings. Now, the chapter itself is entitled Prehistory and the Origins of Patriarchy. And so the first thing you have to figure out is what's patriarchy. So I'm gonna let you look that up or read it in the chapter, right? And what the chapter does is it looks at hunter-gatherer societies, horticultural societies, and agricultural societies, and looks at the relationships between men and women in each of those types of societies. And the whole mission for the chapter is to give you some data to think about the question, patriarchy. Has it existed since the beginning of time? Or did it have a specific point of historical origin? All right, easy enough. So I'm not gonna go into the readings in too much detail. We'll do that in class. But the first document, Virginia Hughes, she's looking at all those cave paintings, particularly of the hands, and asking this question: what does it tell us about the hunter-gatherer societies, about the Paleolithic period, the Old Stone Age? What does it tell us about the relations between men and women during that time period if the oldest art was made by women? It doesn't sound like much, but that's the big question. And while you read it, I think you also need to maybe ponder the purpose of art. Like, what do you think art meant to these people? Might not be the same as what it means to you. So that would help you kind of get an idea about the standing of women as the people who produced these first, cave paintings. So that's thing number one. So read that and figure it out in terms of what do you think that tells you about patriarchy. Document number 2 does something very similar, except it's focused on the Venus figurines, and y'all have probably seen these Venus figurines before, right? And the document really gets into these issues about who made the Venus figurines and how is it that we think we know that? And then what do the Venus figurines tell us about the relationships between men and women in early horticultural societies? That's a little further on. So you got the data from document 1 and data from document 2. Document 3, it's various images, right? So read the suggested questions, think about them while you look at the images. Document 4 gets into agriculture. And the author of that piece, Ehrenberg, makes a really clear argument that relations between men and women changed in societies that focused on intense agriculture. So according to her, what happened? And then you can just kind of see whether it's supported by the other data, right? And then finally, document 5 looks at urban communities. And, the same thing. What do the relationships between men and women look like in the first urban societies? And what's the evidence? How do we know that? So that's the stuff to look for, right? Don't forget to read the setup for each of the documents, and don't forget to read the setup for the chapter. I mean, Kevin Riley, the editor of this, put all that in there for you, so you have some ideas to look for, and a lot of it is what I just told you now. But use the info from these documents to organize your thoughts into your first comparative document essay, your first thought piece. That does the data point to patriarchy as a natural relationship between men and women, or a historical relationship? As I don't mean historical as one that has existed, but one that had a point of historical origin. So read away, and I'll see you around campus.